Hello, my name is Peter Chaney, and I just recently took a test on 16personalities.com, the Myers-Briggs personality test. My results were INTJ, which is an introverted, intuitive, thinking, and judging person. In the next few slides, I'm going to give you all the details about what that really means in the world of Myers-Briggs. So in the world of Myers-Briggs personality, there are 4 letters. And for my personality type, the INTJ, the I stands for introvert, the N is intuitive, the T is thinking, and the J is judging. In the next slide, I'll talk about the complete opposite of me, the ESFP. So the ESFP is the complete opposite in terms of the letter structure of the Myers-Briggs personality. So the E is extroverted, S sensing, F feeling, P perceiving. I believe the main difference is the 2 letters, the I and the E, introvert versus extrovert, and the feeling versus thinking are the main differences between the 2. As far as strengths and weaknesses go, one of my strengths is the imaginative and strategic mind. So what that means is we're kind of flexible in our intellectual challenges for ourselves. We're curious, and we're always looking for that creative plan for the unforeseen possibilities, and we always have a backup plan for things. Another very obvious strength for the INTJ is high self-confidence, and I know you as students have seen this. I mean, left-handed genius, right? So we are honest and direct style of communication. We basically know that we are right in most things, and nothing will change that fact because we've done our research. So our creativity, logic, and confidence actually leads us to be independent and decisive in all things. So bottom line, we're not really impressed by authority figures unless they have shown us a rational, logical thing for what they do. And social conventions aren't something we buy into either. If we have a better idea, we're going to stand alone against anything that's popular. Another strength of the INTJ is hardworking and determined. So basically for us INTJ types, when we have something that's interesting to us, we're willing to put long hours and intense effort into doing those things. We're totally efficient, and we can bypass redundancies by being more efficient. Another strength of the INTJ is open-mindedness. Open-mindedness. It seems kind of topsy-turvy, but we are very open to new ideas if they're supported by logic. And we are receptive to independence, and we will receive new ideas if we can build them into our own mind frame. Another strength of the INTJ is what they call the jack of all trades. So basically, our type, anything we set our minds to, we can do pretty well. Not like expert level, but pretty well. We're good at reverse engineering something, and basically we could take a look at a system and the methodology of it and break it down into simple parts. So unfortunately, INTJ types do have weaknesses, and one of them is arrogance. So a lot of the times we have a false belief that pertinent ideas don't exist besides ours. We're kind of closed off to intellectual inferiors that we don't think are as smart as us, and we're brutally insensitive to opinions of others if we don't feel that they match ours. Another weakness of the INTJ type is that we are judgmental, like definitely judgmental. So basically, we think that a rational argument is the only correct argument. So if you're kind of emotional in your plea, it's hard for us to see that argument unless it's a rational argument like we look at the world. Another weakness of the INTJ type is we tend to be overly analytical. So being detail-oriented can quickly turn into having way too many backup plans. Our analytical prowess can turn into something that doesn't take human relations into account, and so that can be a detriment sometimes. Another weakness the INTJ has, we loathe high structure environments. What that means is a lot of times we disdain authority who just blindly follow rules. Our self-determination, we want to follow that versus just having stability, and it gets us into trouble sometimes. The last weakness I'll talk about for INTJ is what they call clueless in romance, although I don't know if clueless is the right word. But the problem is that our overanalysis and kind of our arrogance play into like just overthinking things in romance and emotion, so that kind of makes it a struggle. So in the area of emotions, a lot of people think our type don't have emotions at all, but it just expresses itself in a different way. Like our view of people who are over emotional, we think that's irrational and weak. We kind of tend to have a coolness or a detachment from our inner emotion. It's kind of like sending the canary into the coal mine to figure out what am I feeling and why. In terms of friendships, we are really looking more for the rational process over some emotional availability. But really, the bottom line is that we'd like to keep up with a few good friends with depth and quality rather than maintaining a huge circle of like shallower level friendships. The INTJ style of parenthood can be kind of all over the map, but for the most part, it kind of goes back to the rational thought and logic thing. We kind of project that to our children, whereas we're thinking they should be the same way we are. And it's more we prompt them to do things rather than just tell them. In terms of their career and the career path, like INTJ types are really good at digesting difficult, complex theories and then putting them into actionable items, like simplifying things for people. And the number one thing is most of us prefer to work alone because honestly, we think we're smarter than everybody else. A couple of the major tenets of the INTJ workplace habits is that we really need interesting work with little interference from the boss type. So if we can just have like hours of time to really focus in on our work, then that's really a good thing for us. In conclusion, bottom line, a lot of people look at the INTJ like an arrogant jerk, but we're kind of complex and we're just kind of like very analytical. And so this picture just kind of sums it up. We think most people are simple and wrong, and we're complex and right.